information. Number 3, the board vote to waive Middle River Club reserves in the Middle River Club account. We all remember this from prior years. So rather than the club holding the reserves, it's the individual associations. We're clear. And then what you all decide to do or not do is, it's not you have an assessment or whatever the new law is, however you decide to do it. Is there a motion to let the individual associations hold the reserves?
Because they're going to have to anyway. Why don't we say yes?
Yes. So Fred, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Peg? Board discussion, you will understand. Call for the vote. Mrs. Wager?
No.
No.
I would like us to hold reserves in the clubhouse.
Okay.
Or the clubhouse.
Mr. Terrance, I don't know if did you speak to your board about that?
I'm making an independent
Okay,
decision.
no problem. No. Mr. Taransky?
Have we ever?
No.
Okay, then I'll say yes.
Yes, you're voting yes.
Yes.
Not to hold,
Not to have reserves.
not to have reserves. Mr. Sager?
I agree.
Not to have reserves.
have
Mrs.
reserves.
Cook?
Yes.
Not to have reserves. Myself, yes, not to have reserves, so it passed.
Quick question, Tony. I don't know how much you know about the new laws coming up, but don't we have to have reserves?
You do. So that's why it's not wise the club get in the middle of this. What you two do or don't do has nothing to do.
No. Understood. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about the club in general.
Yeah, the law goes in effect for next year, so we're just holding, I'll give you an example. River Shores had the money for the driveway, plus we had the common money. So, you know, I don't know if you had an assessment, I don't know if it's none of our business. I'm just saying it depends how you do things over there.
So next year we'll be, assessed no matter what, because it is the law coming down the pipe that every...
No, I don't know that. I don't know how it's going to work with the reserves. If you have reserves, see, River Shores has reserves. So what has to happen is my understanding, and I don't know everything about this, and I said this the other day, you have to have a licensed engineer or a licensed whatever do the reserve study. Part of that reserve study will include the walls and the flooring. Well, that's asinine, but you know, it's politicians involved. So whatever the engineer, the licensed engineer or a licensed whoever, I forgot, or whatever has to do it, I can't do it anymore. I'm not licensed as an engineer to do that. So whatever it includes, the floor, the sheetrock, the whatever, the roof, you know, they may say because we have the contract on the roof and I don't do a reserve because it's will always be maintained. We never have to replace the roof. But the engineer's opinion, remember it's an opinion, he may say, well, you need it. Well, then we're going to have to do the reserve for the, even though we'll never use it. Or should never use it. You know? Yeah. And then we don't know what's happening with the insurance, what the deductible is going to be, because right now we have Citizens on here, which is a liability policy, which we discussed the other day. You know, everything's like, you can't make any decision. There's nothing to estimate because you never know. It could change tomorrow. The legislature, I guess, had their session. Does that mean it improved or is it going to get worse? Well, I don't know any time they've ever improved anything. So
They bailed out the insurance companies, but I don't think that has any effect on us.
say it again.
I said they bailed out the insurance companies, but I don't think that it has any effect on individual policyholders.
Yeah, it's just. It's a mess. So that's my answer. There is no answer. It's a wait and see, and that policy is coming on the 1st of March, so we'll get it probably February 28th is when I'll know, and then you have to hand, because they got you. So, and you realize it's a liability policy because if they have a hurricane on the west side and they don't have enough of this, what happens? We get assessed, I think it's 45% of the premium they could assess us. So it's not a wise thing to buy it, but as, of course, we have to have it. So, we're at the budget. Anything, is there a motion to accept the budget as presented?
I make a motion to accept it as presented.
Peg, is there a second?
I second it.
Mr. Sager? Any further discussion, board?
I have a couple of questions about
Please.
The budget, just some clarification. Obviously, a lot of things are going up, and that's fine. But my first question is, last year, under administrative River Shore office, it was $1,900. It went up $5,300 to $7,200.
Yeah. Now, I think it's $650 a month. It may have been budgeted, but I don't know, we did something different. Oh, because we didn't get the manager, remember? That may happen in April, we're getting, you know, I'm done in April, that's it, no more manager.
So wouldn't that price go down if we didn't have a?
Well, remember, we didn't get the professional, if you
Right.
remember, last year's, but boy, I'm lucky I remember this with all that's going on. So, last year, everything remained the same, because I was still getting me for free, but not the space. You're not getting that space for Middle River Club, because it's shared space. All the resources, the computer, the electric, the elevator, the furniture, everything is shared for business of Middle River Club up in that office. So you still have to pay the shared expenses.
So I can come to the office and make copies?
No, it's not, it's for Middle River Club business.
Correct.
Oh, you want to come and make a couple of sure. I don't
Yeah,
know.
of the agenda, of the things like that.
But I gave you that.
You gave me that this morning, but I had to make copies
She doesn't have a
over at
computer.
Staples.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I don't have a computer, I don't have a
Oh,
printer, I don't have anything.
well,
so
I could, yeah, I'll get you, yeah.
All right, I
No,
need
I don't
hard
have a problem
copy.
with Middle River Club business.
I need hard copies of stuff from
Okay,
me.
no problem.
Okay.
The next question I had was repairs and maintenance. That went up $7,200. Did we have enough going on this year where it warrants that amount of an increase?
I don't think that's very much if it went up 7,200. Hold on a second.
It was 13,000.
Well, 20,000 is not very much for the
It's
club.
gone up to 20,000.
Yeah, I don't think that's very much, you know, considering. You have to remember Steve comes out of that, so
Well,
that's.
there's a line for Steve, a separate line for Steve.
Oh, is there maintenance? Oh, sorry about that. 13, right? Yeah, no, no, Steve is out of the River Shores one, I'm sorry. So, yeah, no, that seems reasonable, 20,000.
But is there a way to get like the fence was 5,000, this was 2,000?
Yeah, it'll be
There's
on the
no-
report, not a detailed, it'll be whatever the repairs and maintenance are. So that thing out front is not gonna be cheap. We may not have to have it, we'll see what it costs. It may be 10,000, it may be 50,000, who
For the
knows?
leaky pipe?
What?
For the leaky pipe on the fountain, you're saying?
No, the
thing out
the
front.
fake hedge, I don't know how much it's gonna cost.
Oh, right, but
So
that's
with the
not me.
pipe, for instance,
That's
Steve
not-
has to fix that, so you brought that up. So Steve has to still fix that pipe,
I understand that.
yeah.
I don't have any kind of gauge of how, yeah, 20,000 to me is a big hike, unless I see
Okay,
actuals,
all right.
so that's all.
Yeah, I don't have actuals.
Is a way of getting actuals. In
After
the
the
new year,
accountant does
going
it, after
forward.
the accountant reviews everything, yes, you'll get it. Did you look at last year's statement, the accountant's report, the statement, whatever he does? Did you look at last year's?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were talking to Wendell.
No, did you look at
Yes,
last?
I did.
Oh, okay, so how much was the total?
I don't remember it off the top of my
Oh,
head,
okay, yeah.
but I did review it.
Okay.
I'm just comparing last year's budget to this year's
Yeah.
budget.
Well, budgets, remember, are guesstimates, so.
Well, these are big chunks.
Yeah, even if there's, if it's not used, it doesn't, you know, you need a little cushion.
I get that.
Yeah, we gotta have a little cushion, so this is a cushion budget.
And then my last question, and I know we've talked about this before, but it's a huge hike on the telephone.
Yes,
That
so
went
you
from
all decided
$2,100 to
about a year
$8,400.
ago, right, it's about $700 a month, yeah. So I bothered, you all didn't want it to table it in that February meeting. So instead, and what happened, I kept calling AT&T. Do you know what it is to get through to them?
No, I remember because I took on that project.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get it changed.
The question was, we were having problems with the directory.
Correct.
And the ultimate question was, is it an AT&T issue, or is it, I forget the other company?
Windstream. Windstream.
Both of them claimed it was the other. We got someone out here, and I think,
The directory works.
how does it work?
You just have to know your code.
What if you don't know?
Well, then you could email, I'm sure all your residents will email me, and if I have the code, I'll look it up and give it to them. The directory itself works. There's two issues. One is the directory, the screen is not working.
Right.
And then the other issue is, Steve was gonna speak to somebody because they no longer make that screen. And I have no intentions of re-entering all that stuff in that data.
Right, all of us, we met with a representative from
Right.
somewhere, I don't remember.
Right,
AT&T,
ATI,
Yeah, ATI.
yes.
Yes, and I know you thought that you'd be able to get them to come down, but they didn't.
They didn't.
But we never met with any other company to see if we could get a better
Steve
system
has
there.
another resource, and he was looking into getting that same directory, because what's gonna be required, all that data in there has to be transferred over manually. And that I have no intentions of doing.
Okay, since several of my residents have mentioned about that, I'll just send you a list, and if you can send me everybody's code. I can
Sure,
hand it out
when
to-
I get to it,
Yeah,
sure.
that's fine.
Isn't the code next to the name?
For some reason, the face, the screen on the directory
Covered.
bleached out.
Oh.
So it's not that the directory, you just can't search for a name. So if you hit the start it and put the code in, it will work. So,
But you need to know what your code is.
well, most
You need
people
to
got
have
that
your name
memorized
there
for
also.
some reason. I never figured that out. They would tell me their code, so I figured most people know their code. But okay, sure.
How about those of us that haven't been on it in over a year? I mean, isn't that
Anyway,
part of the business like
yeah,
that?
I don't wanna, that's,
I'll send a note with everybody in our bill.
yeah. Okay, anything else? So there's a first and second to approve the budget as amended, as presented. Board vote, call for the board vote. Ms. Wager,
I accept it.
second, is Mr. Taransky?
I don't accept it.
No. Mr. Sager?
Yes,
Mrs. Cook?
Yes.
Myself, yes, it passed. Under any other business, Gwendolyn, discuss what you want over in River Terrace so we have a clue what's going on and what we should do for the community or not.
I wanted to mention,
Pet, wait a second. Peg, can you take your thing? Peg, can you hear her?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I want to make sure she hears you.
okay, no, just, I mean, this is not River Terrace, this is this building. I've been told by a reliable source, Bob Rassicott, that there are bugs in this building, and you cannot leave any food out or anything like that, because there's an infestation. And so it's something that I think we should potentially look into.
Bugs?
Bugs,
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 okay.
yes, not rodents, bugs.
Okay.
So that is something, and still on the list.
I'm pretty sure I had some guy come out and he said, I can't remember, but Steve will remember. Steve met with him and he sprayed and it was gone. So I'll speak to Steve. So that's a bug issue for, in this building.
Yes.
Where are the bugs specifically?
I was not here. Bob said that he comes in at 10 o'clock at night and there are bugs that he sees.
Okay, so you know
I
what?
just
I'm
wanna
gonna have
just-
Steve speak to Bob.
Okay.
And then we'll figure it out, because the guy came out with the one down the street, and it was not, I don't know what it wasn't like a big thing, but we'll find out if it is a big thing.
I didn't know if we're
Oh,
on
it's in the kitchen?
I didn't know if we're on a spray schedule, like
No.
a regular
No.
maintenance thing. Like that's something I'd,
Okay. I'll have Steve speak to Bob. That's the
me
best
what.
resource.
Did
What
Bob
kind of
tell you
bugs?
what kind of bugs they were? or-
he didn't, he just, it was just in conversation, so it was not
Okay. Okay, so we got the bugs. What about the recycling? And you do not want recycling, is that correct?
That
Okay.
is correct. We do not
So,
want recycling.
just quickly for River Shores and River Bend, because, you know, we at River Shores have been asked for recycling, and you have been correct at River Bend recycling?
Many of my unit owners are big recyclers.
Okay, so we can't do part, you understand? Well, we could, but, you know, that means, that I don't know what that means. What does it mean? We can't have recycling, is that, because you don't want to do it at River
River
Terrace?
Terrace. does not-
Okay.
We don't have the space to keep the bins. We don't-
Well, there's that X space
Yeah, we
now,
don't
Well,
have-
I don't know how that got there, but it's okay, I don't, you know,
No, we
there
can't.
is space for them, you just don't want them. Okay, so,
Correct.
Peg, they don't want them. Anyway, anything else, Gwendolyn or Bruce?
Is there a percentage of your building that doesn't want them? What
Uh,
would that be, or is it just a handful that said no?
It is the board that said no.
But of your unit owners?
I didn't go to each unit owner, I went to the board.
That's fine, it is what it is. Anything else, guys?
Again, there's the equipment in the fitness center, the flooring. I haven't gotten a chance to look over, but somebody said there's wood down in the fitness center. I have not
I'm not aware of
peeked
that.
my head in there yet.
So you want to look into flooring?
Into flooring.
I know we had discussed it, and I think that's where it ended. So,
Just for future, I'd like it on some agenda at some
Well,
point.
yeah,
Uh,
that's why we got a little bit extra maybe in the repair and maintenance. This is going to cost, you know.
Okay.
Go ahead, Fred.
Are we finished with phone?
Uh,
We can't hear you down here.
Yeah,
Gwendolyn.
The pool, that's always
Yeah.
I mean, the pool maintenance, it's still
Right.
a concern, the cracks in the,
it's got to get done. Should have been done 3 years ago. I
Correct.
wish I could have got it done 3 years ago, because now my time is limited. But anyway,
I mean, we do have an aging pool.
Yeah.
Still needs to be addressed,
Yeah.
just like aging everything else in our,
yeah, it's got to be addressed at some point. I wish it could have been done 3-4 years ago, but when I wanted to get it done, but now, you know,
well, are we
I got the
planning-
bids, I got
Okay.
the great price, and then, you know, whatever. And then I had to hold up a project over at River Shores because I wanted to do everything and save money, and no, had to do it a certain way.
Well, I
But
got a
anyway,
bid.
it's bringing up the past again, I don't
No,
want
but
to
I
do
got a
that.
bid and I got a price, and that's
Yeah,
that's
well,
3 years old now.
85,000 versus 29,000, you know, that was some,
It's the
Yeah.
cost of,
yeah, and it would have been paid for. Now I don't know that we have the money, because, you
no,
know.
because the cost went up. I mean, who knows, but I mean, everything going up. The cost of gasoline went up, so paving went up. I mean, it's just part of.
Okay, well, the pool is not on the agenda today, so.
No, but it could be put on the future list again. The
Well,
cracks.
when we're ready to do it,
They
you know, who knows what's gonna happen in April? I'm sure some people, you know, you may get a whole different board and the whole thing may go different. I don't know what's gonna
Because we gotta
happen.
find out insurance first, how much that's gonna
Oh,
cost.
yeah, but.
So it's not like we have extra funds to do. these
Insurance
different
for a
projects.
pool, you're saying?
No, we have to know what the insurance is going to be. I mentioned that before.
yeah,
We have,
okay.
and even for your buildings,
Yeah.
I don't know when is your policies due? Do you know? No, Gwendolyn doesn't know.
I don't know.
I don't know the due date, but our insurance is going up close to 40%.
We just got hit on River Bend with, per month, an increase $245 a month on maintenance fees.
Increase?
I think it's more than that.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Per month.
I believe so, because, well, anyways, we're not gonna discuss River Chester.
Oh, my God.
Well, it
And
has
somebody
to do
was
with-
complaining about 100, but not to me, Helen. Do you know that? They complained to Steve. I said, where are they? They wouldn't say it to me.
yeah, we increased our reserves over a year ago so that we are now fully funded. That was a big decision in our building. We used to be 55% funded. Now we're 100% funded because we know everything is.
So you have reserves now?
Absolutely, we've always had reserves.
Oh, I don't know that.
Okay.
I don't need to know that, I'm just saying, that's why the reserve study, you do what you know, instead of me, because I remember asking some years ago, well, what do you have? And I, you know, got the usual blank look, so.
No, we definitely, River Terrace has.
So there's a guide for you to see what, the estimated costs are for this year. So next year, the professional will have to do